Good morning, student. Myself Hansa, of your science teacher, and today we will start the topic change in state of matter, and which is from chapter 1, matter in our surrounding. We already know the state of matter. State of matter. We already know it. What is the state of matter? State of matter, in which form the matter exists. That will be three forms: solid, liquid, and gas. And matter is also known as, you know it very well. Matter, the substance या anything which occupies space and has mass. कोई भी चीज जो जगह घेरती है और उसको कुछ ना कुछ मास होता है. तो we will in today video we will discuss change in the state of matter due to temperature. What happened to the state of matter when there will be a change in the temperature? And the first, we have to know what is the temperature. Temperature is the degree of hotness and coldness, means which measure hot and cold. And the unit of degree, we generally measure Celsius and Kelvin in Fahrenheit. But SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. SI unit is Kelvin. SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. Now, state of matter में अगर कुछ चेंज होता है, when there will be a change in the state of matter, तो there are so many questions arise in our mind. क्या question arise होते हैं हमारे mind में? अगर if the state of matter will change, then the first question will arise in our mind that what happened to the inside of matter? उस matter के अंदर क्या होगा? And what happened to the particle of the matter? Means particle of matter, जो matter में जो छोटे छोटे particle हैं, the teeny particle which are present inside the matter, what happened to that particle of matter? Or the question is also raised, it may be possible that the changes take place. How the changes take place? Mean one state of matter is changed into other state, and we know very well the state first is solid. We will take the example of water, which exists in three states, all three states. And the solid state of water, I think you know it very well. Can you answer me? That is ice. And the state of water in liquid. And the third, the state of water in what form? In gaseous form, in vapor form. It means water exists in three states. First is solid, ice. Second is gaseous, second is liquid, and third is in the gaseous state. Ice, liquid, and gases. Mean we can say vapor. And before the change in the state of matter, I want to discuss one point. Just to tell me, I take 100 gram of ice. एक 100 ग्राम आइस लिया, उसको हमने क्या किया? आइस इन एन वेसल्स, और उसे क्या किया? स्लाइटली हीट किया. When we heat it, then automatically temperature will increase. Then what will happen? क्या होगा? जब हीट दी, there will be change in the temperature. Ice will convert into water. आइस जो है, जो सॉलिड स्टेट में है, वो कन्वर्ट होगी वाटर में. When the ice is changed into liquid, means water, then we have to measure the temperature of the ice and the water simultaneously, but the fourth state will be exist होंगे, दोनों स्टेट एग्जिस्ट होंगे. And the measurement of the temperature with the help of thermometer. I think you know it very well. Thermometer is an instrument which is used to measure the temperature. When we measure the temperature of ice with the thermometer and note it down, and the simultaneously we measure the water which obtained from ice, then the temperature of that water to be noted. Is there any difference of the temperature? No change in the temperature. उन दोनों के बीच में टेम्परेचर चेंज नहीं होगा. तो नाउ वन क्वेश्चन इज अराइज आल्सो कि अगर टेम्परेचर चेंज नहीं होगा, आइस जो पानी में बदल गया एंड द टेम्परेचर इज सेम, देन वेयर द हीट एनर्जी गोस, कहां जाती है? वी डोंट नो. देन आई विल आस्क लेटर ऑन. First point, when we supply heat to the ice which is in solid state, the temperature is increased and that heat will break down the force of attraction between the particle of ice. ice के particle को तोड़ने की कोशिश करेगी, and due to which the particle of ice will change its position from rest and they will be randomly in motion. When the particle of ice will be in motion, then they possess some energy, and that energy is kinetic energy, and due to its kinetic energy they collide to each other. They will collide to each other, and after collision the temperature will again increase and increase. Why? Because they collide each other and kinetic energy also increase, and kinetic energy is also increased, then they will be very far from away each other. Means the force of attraction between the particle is very 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 less, and in this state the solid ice will convert into liquid, and the process to change solid into liquid is known as the melting. मीन्स अगर सॉलिड चेंज होती है लिक्विड में तो एक प्रोसेस होता है, उस प्रोसेस को मेल्टिंग कहते हैं. इसी मेल्टिंग के प्रोसेस को हम फ्यूजन भी कहते हैं. इट मीन मेल्टिंग एंड फ्यूजन both are same, both are the process. Melting and fusion are the process which change solid, in which the particle are closely packed and converted into liquid, and the particle are very far from each other. It means जो एनर्जी थी, the energy which gave to break down the force of attraction between the particle of matter. तो इसका में जो एनर्जी थी उसने क्या करा? ब्रेक डाउन किया द पार्टिकल ऑफ मैटर के फोर्स को, मींस बॉन्ड को तोड़ने की कोशिश करी. मींस वी कैन से the heat which is supplied, the temperature, the heat is supplied that help to overcome the force of attraction between the particle of matter, between the particle of ice, due to which the temperature is same. जो हीट एनर्जी थी उसने केवल आइस के फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन, पार्टिकल के अट्रैक्शन को तोड़ा. इसका मतलब है हीट इज एब्जॉर्ब बाय द आइस. हीट क्या थी? एब्जॉर्ब हुई आइस, और वो कन्वर्ट किसमें हुई? लिक्विड में कन्वर्ट हुई. किसमें कन्वर्ट हुई? लिक्विड में कन्वर्ट हुई. इसका मतलब एक टेम्परेचर पर, किसी एक पर्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर पर, at a fixed temperature the water is solid is completely changed into water, means ice is completely changed into water. That temperature is known as melting point. Melting point means the temperature at which solid change into liquid या solid change start melting. Melting means change to liquid state. Solid change into liquid at atmospheric temperature. At atmospheric temperature. This is known as melting point. And the melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius and which is equal to 273 Kelvin. And then there is a relation between Celsius and Kelvin that will be discussed later on. This atmospheric pressure, what is the meaning of atmospheric pressure? Normal atmospheric pressure means atmospheric pressure which is exerted by atmosphere. जो प्रेशर एक्सर्ट किया गया है एटमॉस्फेयर के द्वारा, दिस इज नॉन द एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर. दैट एट दैट एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर अगर सॉलिड चेंज इनटू लिक्विड इज नॉन एज मेल्टिंग पॉइंट. इज इट क्लियर? एंड नाउ अब दिस melting point, some solid has more melting points, some solid has less melting points. The solid which has more melting point, why they have more melting point? Because they require more temperature, more heat to break down their force of attraction. And some solid have less melting point. Why? Because the force of attraction between the particle of that matter is comparatively less. Therefore, they need less melting point to convert that solid into liquid. So it means that what the melting point is indicate? The melting point is indicate the strength of the force of attraction between its particle, between the particle of matter. जो मेल्टिंग पॉइंट सॉलिड का है वो क्या इंडिकेट करता है कि पार्टिकल जो है एक दूसरे के कितने क्लोजली, कितने टाइटली पैक्ड हैं, which indicate the strength. If the force of attraction, if the strength of the force between the particle of matter is more, then the melting point will also more. If the strength is less between the particle of matter, then melting point is less. Then we can say the melting point indicate the strength of the particle, strength of the force of particle in between them. Here is indicate its mean solid, the substance. Melting point of ice is, that is no 0 degree Celsius. It means there is a relation, this 0 degree Celsius, and we will discuss in the next class, next video first. And now what I told you that the heat energy which overcome the force of attraction, वो एनर्जी हमें दिखाई नहीं दी, छुपी हुई थी. कौन सी एनर्जी? जिसने फोर्स, दैट एनर्जी विच ओवरकम द फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन बिटवीन द पार्टिकल ऑफ मैटर, उस हिडन एनर्जी को हम लेटेंट हीट कहते हैं. द एनर्जी विच इज नॉट विजिबल टू अस, लेकिन जिसने क्या कर दिया, व्हाट दैट एनर्जी हैज डन to overcome the force of attraction, that energy is known as latent heat. It means what if the question will ask, name the hidden energy. Latent heat, the hidden energy which is used to overcome the force of attraction between the particle of matter, जो particle of matter के बीच में force of attraction को कम करते हैं. When the solid means ice change into liquid, the temperature will same. Then the energy is used to overcome the force of attraction. The energy is used to overcome the force of attraction. That means ice has less energy as compared to water at the same temperature, because heat is absorbed by ice to overcome their force of attraction of their particle. So heat energy in ice is less than the heat energy of water at the same temperature. Therefore we feel cold when we put ice on our palm on our hand as compared to water. जब हम आइस को अपने हाथ के ऊपर रखते हैं तो आइस हमें ठंडा लगता है देन वाटर एट द सेम टेम्परेचर. ये किसकी वजह से? ड्यू टू लेटेंट हीट, एंड दैट लेटेंट हीट इज नोन एज लेटेंट हीट ऑफ फ्यूजन. That latent heat is known as latent heat of fusion. It means latent heat of fusion ने क्या किया? वो हीट, देखिए latent heat you know the hidden energy जिसने फ्यूजन का प्रोसेस किया. Latent heat is the hidden energy which is used to convert the solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point. Why we are saying at its melting point? क्योंकि melting point पर ही solid क्या होगा? Convert होगा into liquid. Then we say that latent heat of fusion. Fusion is the process to convert solid into liquid. This means the heat which is required. Latent heat means the amount of heat required to change 1 kilogram of कौन सा solid, 1 kilogram of solid change into liquid. 1 kilogram of solid change into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point. इसका मतलब अगर 1 किलोग्राम solid, if we take 1 kg of solid at atmospheric pressure and a given melting point, if it change into liquid, solid change into liquid, that energy is known as latent heat of fusion. 1 kg of solid, 1 kg of any solid, if change into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point, उसके melting point पर ही जब solid liquid में change होगा उसमें जितनी energy हमें चाहिए that energy is known as latent heat of fusion. अब हमारे पास पानी मिल गया, water we get water from ice. It means that ice liquid has less force of attraction as compared to solid. And again, we supply heat to that water. And what happened again? The heat is also break, you have to overcome the force of attraction between the particle of the liquid. वो भी क्या करेगी? Force of attraction को कम करेगी. जब कम करेगी तो they will again very far from the pre state in liquid state. जो पहले liquid state थी उससे कहीं और पार्टिकल क्या जाएंगे? दूर होते जाएंगे और उनके बीच की काइनेटिक एनर्जी एंड द काइनेटिक एनर्जी बिटवीन द पार्टिकल ऑफ मैटर विल इंक्रीज एंड इंक्रीजिंग एंड दे हैव वेरी मच रैंडमली इन मोशन. तो दैट स्टेट विल बी गैसियस स्टेट एंड द गैसियस स्टेट में जब लिक्विड चेंज हो जाएगा उस प्रोसेस को हम बोलते हैं बॉइलिंग. बॉइलिंग इज नॉट मेंशन, तो बॉइलिंग इज द प्रोसेस, सेम इज द मेल्टिंग. Melting is the process. So boiling is the process to change liquid into gas and is known as boiling. Boiling is the process to change liquid into gas. You start boiling. Boiling is the process in which the liquid start boiling and change into vapor. Now the heat is supplied to that water. So that heat also overcome the force of attraction and that converted into gas at the temperature of that boiling water and the temperature of that steam, that vapor will be same. It means steam and water both has same temperature which is 100 degrees Celsius and we can convert it into Kelvin, that will be 373 Kelvin. 373 Kelvin, and that we will discuss. 100 degree Celsius पर water boil होगा and converted into steam. तो it means water absorb energy and the particle of matter they will far from each other. Why? That heat overcome the force of attraction between the particle of matter and converted into vapor, steam. That means the vapor or steam has more heat as compared to boiling water. तो इट मीन जो स्टीम है उसके अंदर हीट ज्यादा होगी बॉइलिंग वाटर से, देयरफॉर द स्टीम हैज सर्वर बर्न एज कंपेयर टू वाटर। हीट ज्यादा होने की वजह से स्टीम विल कॉज मोर बर्न, सर्व बर्न एज कंपेयर टू बॉइलिंग वाटर। क्यों? ड्यू टू इट्स लेटेंट हीट। अब वो लेटेंट हीट क्या है? फर्स्ट बिफोर दैट लेटेंट हीट, दैट इज द बॉइलिंग पॉइंट। फर्स्ट इज बॉइलिंग पॉइंट, सेम इज बॉइलिंग पॉइंट। इसका ना लेटेंट इज गुड। लेटेंट हीट को क्या बोलेंगे? लेटेंट हीट उसको क्या बोलेंगे? लेटेंट हीट ऑफ वेपराइजेशन। Vaporization, that is the latent heat of vaporization. Mean vaporization is the process to convert liquid into vapor. Liquid into vapor. The state to change liquid into vapor at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point. उस टाइम जितनी हीट चाहिए उस हीट को हम क्या बोलेंगे? लेटेंट हीट ऑफ वेपराइजेशन। Latent heat of vaporization mean if we have to convert 1 kg of liquid into steam या vapor at its atmospheric pressure at its boiling point, that amount of heat required is known as latent heat of vaporization. जितनी हमें 1 किलोग्राम लिक्विड को स्टीम में चेंज करने के लिए एक उस एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर पर, उसके बॉइलिंग पॉइंट टेम्परेचर पर जितनी हमें हीट चाहिए, जो हीट हमें चाहिए क्या कन्वर्ट करने के लिए? 1 किलोग्राम लिक्विड को गैस में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए जितनी हमें हीट चाहिए उसे हम क्या बोलेंगे? लेटेंट हीट ऑफ वेपराइजेशन। तो दैट मीन लेटेंट हीट ऑफ वेपराइजेशन क्या है? द अमाउंट ऑफ हीट रिक्वायर्ड 1 kg ऑफ लिक्विड इनटू वेपर at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point. Latent heat of pressure, the amount of heat required to change 1 kg of liquid into vapor at its atmospheric pressure. Vapor means liquid into gas. उसमें जितनी हमें हीट चाहिए उस एक एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर, उसके बॉइलिंग पॉइंट को हम बोलेंगे लेटेंट हीट ऑफ वेपराइजेशन। और जिस टेम्परेचर पर वाटर स्टार्ट बॉइलिंग करता है उस टेम्परेचर को हम क्या बोलेंगे? बॉइलिंग पॉइंट। एंड बॉइलिंग इज द बल्क फिनोमेना। बॉइलिंग इज द बल्क फिनोमेना। व्हाई द बॉइलिंग इज द बल्क फिनोमेना? इफ यू टेक अ स्पीकर लिया, उसमें क्या दिया? वाटर दिया, इसे हीट किया, तो यहां से जो वाटर है, वाटर के जो पार्टिकल, ध्यान प्लीज बी केयरफुल। बल्क फिनोमेना, बल्क मीन लार्ज अमाउंट। बल्क फिनोमेना because the particle from the bulk of the liquid, पूरे के पूरे लिक्विड में से, which is the large amount of liquid, particle of matter from bulk of the liquid, particle of matter, bulk of the liquid, large amount में पूरे के पूरे सारे के सारे पार्टिकल gain energy, they gain energy from this। ये हीट से क्या करेंगे? gain energy to change into vapor state। means particle of bulk of liquid, this bulk of liquid, large amount of liquid, जो पूरा का पूरा सारा का सारा bulk, पूरा का पूरा liquid, particle of bulk of liquid, इस पूरे liquid के जो particle हैं वो क्या करेंगे? heat gain करेंगे to overcome the force of attraction and change into vapor। means इसके जो particle है वाटर के, particle इस water के जो particle है वो क्या करेंगे? पूरे सारे particle, लिक्विड के सारे पार्टिकल क्या करेंगे? दे गेन एनर्जी टू चेंज इनटू वेपर स्टेट। देयरफॉर द बॉइलिंग इज द बल्क फिनोमेना। वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट फ्रॉम द एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। व्हाई द बॉइलिंग इज द बल्क फिनोमेना? व्हाई? बिकॉज द पार्टिकल फ्रॉम द बल्क ऑफ द लिक्विड मींस जो सारे का सारे लिक्विड के जो पार्टिकल हैं they gain energy to overcome the force of attraction and change into vapor, therefore this is known as bulk phenomena, and that is therefore this is known as the bulk phenomena, and you have to note it down and revise these top point, and you have to revise this point, and in the next video we will discuss about the sublimation and the effect of pressure in the change of the state of matter. And keep it in mind, one point we will discuss in the next class related to that topic. इस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में फ्लो चार्ट में कुछ पॉइंट डिस्कस करेंगे एंड देन वी विल डिस्कस ड्यू टू pressure what will be the effect on the state of matter. Thank you, good day.